Imagine being one of the only people on Earth who truly understood what it was like to grow up under a global microscope, spending decades as the safe haven for the most famous man in the world, only to find yourself completely absent from his 3-hour life story on the big screen. That is the reality for Brooke Shields. For the last 72 hours, the internet has been buzzing over an exclusive revelation that has left fans of 80s pop culture reeling. Brooke Shields is not in the Michael biopic. While the film is currently smashing records and bringing the thriller era back to life for a new generation, the woman who stood by Michael Jackson's side through the Grammys, the scandals, and the quietest moments of his life is nowhere to be found in the credits. The facts of the situation are actually quite straightforward, even if they feel like a snub to longtime followers of the duo. Brooke Shields sat down for an exclusive interview this week to finally address the elephant in the theater. She confirmed that while she was aware of the production and had been in contact with the estate during the early stages, the final cut of the film simply didn't have room for her. According to Shields, director Antoine Fuqua and the producers decided to focus the narrative almost entirely on Michael's relationship with his father, Joe Jackson, and the internal machinery of his king of pop empire. By the time they reached the high celebrity era of the 80s and 90s, the script prioritized his solo creative process over his high-profile friendships. This means that for all the iconic red carpet photos of Brooke and Michael, not a single scene was filmed to recreate their bond. The public reaction to this has been a fascinating mix of disappointment and analytical debate. Viral clips of Brooke's previous tributes to Michael, including her tearful 2009 memorial speech, have been recirculating on TikTok as fans argue that you cannot tell the story of Michael Jackson without the pretty baby star. The social media debate has centered on the erasure of Michael's female friends. Many are pointing out that while his brothers and his mother are central pillars of the movie, the influential women in his life, like Brooke and even Diana Ross, feel like secondary footnotes or, in Brooke's case, completely invisible. Some fans are calling it a missed opportunity to show the human, childlike side of Michael that Brooke famously protected for years. This situation escalated because it highlights a major shift in how we handle celebrity biopics in 2026. We are moving away from the greatest hits style where every famous friend gets a cameo and moving toward deeper, more psychological character studies. It tells us that for a film like Michael, the influencer and celebrity aspects of his life were viewed as distractions from the true story of his genius and his trauma. For Brooke Shields, this affects her reputation by positioning her as a figure of the past, someone whose long-lasting friendship is now a private memory rather than a public cinematic moment. Original commentary: this exclusion is actually a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's a loss for fans who wanted to see that specific 80s glamour recreated with modern production values. On the other hand, Brooke's refusal to bash the film for leaving her out proves why she was such a good friend to Michael in the first place. She isn't chasing the clout of a biopic cameo. She's protecting the sanctity of a relationship that she says was too complicated and too pure for a movie to get right anyway. It's a rare moment of celebrity dignity in a world that usually demands every detail be commodified. We have to clearly separate the confirmed details from the online rumors. It is a confirmed fact that Brooke was not cast in the movie and that she hasn't seen it yet. It is also confirmed that she holds no ill will toward Jaffer Jackson or the production. However, theories that she was cut out due to disagreements with the Jackson estate or that her character was removed because she didn't approve of the script are purely speculative. From her own mouth, it was a creative decision by the filmmakers to keep the focus tight on the family unit. The pacing of this rollout has been interesting. While the movie is a global juggernaut, the missing pieces of the narrative are now becoming the main story. We're seeing a slower, more analytical tone take over the conversation as critics look at what, and who, was sacrificed to make a definitive Michael Jackson movie. This leaves us with a bigger industry question. Does a biopic owe it to history to include every major figure, or is a director's vision more important than a chronological guest list? The future impact of this will likely be a director's cut, or a spin-off documentary where Brooke and others finally get to tell their side of the story without the Hollywood filter. For now, the unresolved tension lies in the gap between the Michael the world sees in the theater and the Michael Brooke Shields knew in private. The upcoming response possibility from the estate is low, but for Brooke, The exclusive she just gave is her way of saying that even if she isn't in the movie, she's still very much a part of the legend. Expert Guide. This script covers the specific tension of Brooke's exclusion from the biopic. Would you like me to look into the latest box office numbers or the critical reception of Jafar Jackson's performance?